Reality Check viewers, I'm backstage here with some incredible players at Randy Rhoads Remembered. This is what, the fourth or fifth one of these things? It's third. Oh, it's only the third. What are you working on these days? Because you always have
a bunch of stuff. I mean, right now we got the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp coming up in February with Tony Iommi.
That's going to be great.
Zach Wilde and Steve Vai and Warren Haynes, special guests.
Wow, nice.
Cool. Yeah.
What a cool lineup.
Cool lineup, yeah.
Talk about the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp experience for people who really don't know much about it. We've seen it a little bit on TV here and there.
Yeah. Well, TV, you know, I was part of the reality show, right. And it was more like for TV. There was a lot of conflict going on.
Right.
Really, there's no crying or conflict at the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. It's just a once in a lifetime experience, and they're all different, you know. So it's.
And you're like a counselor. You actually develop the band. You help them write a song.
I got a whistle and a clipboard. Yeah.
Cracking the whip.
Yeah, and I wear shorts, you know, and one of those pith hats, you know. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have a stopwatch like Keith?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And no, but it's good because once again, you're a person who was around when Randy was coming up. He helped you even.
He sure did. He sure did. I mean, he trusted me with the bass gig for Ozzy, you know, and I mean,
there's no mean feat there.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Especially, I have no background. I was sleeping on the floor one day, get the phone call, and next day I'm in the band and I'm living with Ozzy and Sharon.
Pretty crazy.
And, yeah.
Just living that lifestyle must have been insane.
I mean, I never took it for granted. I always knew that I was just blessed to be there and to enjoy it, but never abuse it, you know, because it was just a privilege that was given to me by somebody else, you know. Even being in the band was a privilege, you know. But it all started because Randy trusted me that I was going to do the job. Because it's all about doing the job. It's like,
about doing the job.
We don't have a bass player. We need to play these songs. They have to be played a certain way. Can you do the job? Yes, I would love to do the job. Okay, let's audition you, and you pass the audition, and you keep doing the job. Yeah.
So talk to me about your initial meeting. How did you guys first come to meet and play together in Quiet Riot and all that whole thing?
Oh, with Randy, Actually, I was living on the East Coast, and I was getting ready to move back to LA, and I got a call from Kevin. I was like the last bass player. I was basically the last resort. They tried everybody, and for some reason it didn't work out. And I had met Kevin a few months earlier when I was still in LA, and I congratulated him on the band. I saw him performing at the Starwood. And I thought that these guys really have it together. They're actually an arena band that happens to be playing in a club, but they have a vision. There's a goal. They're shooting for something, you know. And it was very rare to see something like that. And so I just took him to the side and said, "Hey, I get it. I know what you're doing. Congratulations." Which I always do that, you know, when people who are trying to make it, because myself, I do things, and unless somebody says, "Hey, I get it. It's really cool," you don't know.
Right.
You need that. So, so
validation.
Validation. So every time you see somebody who deserves validation, I think we should all give it to them, just to let them know, like, keep going where you're going. I love it. Like in Lexi's case.
Exactly. Give her some validation.
Exactly.
Because she's doing a great job.
Yeah.
So, what's happening with you in the here and the now? What are you up to right now?
Oh, just doing I'm doing also the Access and Anchors cruise is coming up in February, and we're bringing Randy Rhoads Remember to the high seas.
That's gonna be cool.
At least the Caribbean, I guess. Which is where I'm from, so this is the closest I'm going to be to Havana to play rock and roll. On a boat.
But now it's possible to go to Havana again, right? I guess
it's still a communist country, so I have no interest.
He's still not going to go.
He is.
Every day?
I'm sorry?
We visit China every day.
Yeah. China, it's a different kind of communism. It's more socialist. This is...
Still communist.
This is bad. This is bad. I know. And but anyways, So yeah, I just, but that's politics, and this is about.
Well, we were
Rhoads.
talking to your brother earlier, so
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about your childhood. You came over from Cuba when you
Yeah.
were very, very young. How old were you? Exactly?
Almost 11.
11. Wow.
Yeah.
And that must have been
Yeah.
like crazy.
Back then in my country, I should have been married by then with kids. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, but how crazy was that as a young boy, basically? You know, not
Well,
even
you
preteen?
just don't know. I mean, you leave a bad situation, and your family is trying to give you a better life. You know, I mean, it took us about a year and a half to get the visas and the passports and somebody to claim us from the United States. You know, we just went through the proper channels. You know, and we did. You know, it took us about a year. We got here, and then you have to assimilate.
Right.
I went from Rodolfo Maximiliano Sarzo Grande Ruiz Parex Chamon to Rudy.
That's a lot of names, man.
Yeah, which is, imagine putting that on your email address. You know,
It's not going to work.
no, yeah, just Rudy at rudysarzo.com.
Yeah, easy
Yeah,
peasy.
easy, very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So, where do people go to find out more, to keep up on what you're doing?
Oh, Facebook, Rudy Sarzo, and
Rudy
Twitter,
Sarzo.
Rudy Sarzo, yeah.
And go to the Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp and learn from this
Fantasy
guy. A wealth of
I mean,
experience.
there's so many great counselors, you know.
Yeah, but you've been kind of a mainstay there for the past few years.
I've been there for about 8 years, yeah.
Which is great, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, it all goes back to, I got my first teaching job back in '78 when I was a member of Quiet Riot with Randy.
Oh.
And Dolores, you know, she trusted me to teach, you know, her students, you know, teach them bass. So I had never taught before, so Randy took me by the hand and said, "Here, this is how you do it," and you know, and it was really a beautiful learning process because it's all about sharing,
Right.
you know.
Sharing the knowledge and the craft.
Yeah, which is incredibly rewarding.
Right.
So anytime that I have the opportunity, I mean, I do Skype lessons. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, your
bass
brother was
lesson
saying he does that
on
as well.
Skype. You know, yeah, because it's, you know, there's so much you want to. I learn something every day. I go online, learn stuff, and then when I learn stuff, and I want to share it with people. You know.
And do you feel that in the give and take in the student-teacher process that you learn as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because everybody has something to teach. Yeah.
So even a student can possibly show you something? Or
I never look at them as students. I look at them as people that I'm having a sharing information relationship with them. You know.
So it's less student-teacher, more mentor.
Yeah, it's not like Kill Bill, you know, the guy that's teaching. Pokes your eye out.
Yeah, I was just going to say, don't be plucking anybody's eyes out during a lesson.
No,
That'd
that's
be
not
bad.
like that. No, it's a whole gentler.
Much gentler approach. All right, Rudy, it's always good to see you, brother. Thank you so much.
God bless.